And here's what Neil Maxwell said. The Book of Mormon peoples, though Christians, were tied much more strictly to the pre-exilic law of Moses. See, Lehi leaves Jerusalem before the Babylonian captivity. That's pre-exilic. Law of Moses until Jesus came, than we in the church have fully appreciated. Elder Jeffrey R. Holland insisted that it is important to understand that for 600 years the descendants of Lehi observed the law of Moses. And scholars of the Book of Mormon like Hugh Nibley and John Welsh and Gary Gillum and Don Norton and others have all supported the concept that the prophet historians of the Book of Mormon were keepers of the law of Moses. And anyway, there's a lot of that. And if you read, and I've got all the references here, so I want you to look at those, but you start out with Father Lehi offering up a thank offering a couple of times there when they get the plates, when the boys come back, all of that. And then later you're going to get all the way through the Book of Mormon, but I'm going to jump ahead here to the very last quote on page 18. 200 years after Lehi left Jerusalem in 400 BC, the prophet Jerem declared in solemn terms, and now, behold, 200 years had passed away, and the people of Nephi had waxed strong in the land. They observed to keep the law of Moses, and the Sabbath day holy unto the Lord, and they profaned not, neither did they blaspheme, exhorting with all long-suffering the people to diligence, teaching the law of Moses. And it's going to go all the way through, and it says they did keep in all things the law of Moses all the way through. Do you think that means the Passover? Well, let's take a look at some of the implications of this, and you'll see that I've identified one of them up here. One of the implications of keeping the law of Moses is that understanding that Nephi was justified in killing Laban. There's 5 reasons under the law of Moses why Nephi was justified in killing Laban. All right? And I'm going to tell you that I just put out one of them here, and that is a thief who is in possession of your stolen goods. If his life is taken, that's called justifiable homicide. I wish the King James translators had translated the 10 Commandments correctly, because they would say not that thou shalt not kill, it should say thou shalt not murder. Murder is the unlawful taking of human life, and justifiable homicide, of course, is the lawful taking of human life. And in war and in other cases you have that. So moving right along, that's kind of fascinating. Quickly here, Sherem, he accused Jacob of blasphemy. Well, in Leviticus 24:16, the penalty for blasphemy is death. But if you're a false witness, in Deuteronomy 19:19, if you're a false witness, you're to suffer the death or the penalty that you accuse the other person of falsely. So that's why Sherem dies. All right? Doesn't have to be stoned here. He's going to die because he accused falsely Jacob of being a blasphemy. And just very interesting. And you notice earlier the statement made by Jeremy, we do not blaspheme, we do not do this, do not do that. Anyway, I'm going to let you read all of that on your own. If we do this here, and let's get to this one, and then I'll kind of conclude on that thought. If you're going to keep the law of Moses, and these people did keep the law of Moses until Jesus came and said, the law is fulfilled in me. And if you're going to keep the law of Moses, folks, one of the things you're going to keep there is you're going to keep the, I'm back to this particular one, you're going to keep the calendar. This is Exodus 12:2. This Passover month, the word Passover is inserted because that's the context. This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. So when you read in the Book of Mormon, the first, it says this, and it was in the first month, and it mentions the first month. And ironically, of course, in the Book of Mormon, it means the months first, second, third, fourth. That's the way it was done during the pre-exilic time, before the Babylonian captivity. Once in the Babylonian captivity, it was then they named them. They took the names of the Babylonian calendars, they adapted them to their own names, and for 2,450 years or so, we've used the Babylonian names for the Jewish calendar. Why didn't Joseph Smith use those Babylonian? He took a Hebrew class. He should have known that. He would have known that. But why did he call, in translating the Book of Mormon, first month, second month, third month? And the answer is because that was translated document, and that's the way it was referred to, because Lehi left Jerusalem before the Babylonian captivity, and that's the only way they referred to the months. It was not by the Babylonian names, but by first month, second month, third month. Anyway, something Joseph would have known, would not have known maybe at that time. But the thing is that they certainly would have followed that. Now, what does that mean? It means this, that we can read the Book of Mormon, you know when the first month is. The first month is always, take it to the bank, always going to be between March 21st and April 25th. March 1st, April 25th, always. Even today, you're going to find, because they use a lunar calendar that's adjusted by the solar equinox. And every year they adjust that. That's why our Easter and their Passover celebration is always either together or within 11 days of each other. And we have that. So when it says that Lamanites are going to come to battle in the 10th month, they're going to come in January and February. I want to ask my Great Lakes advocates this. Are you kidding? Buffalo, New York, Zarahemla, Iowa in January and February, naked, their heads are shorn. and they're coming in loincloths. I would say one more time, save your arrows, Nephites. They're going to freeze to death because many are cold and a few are frozen. And but once you're able to identify the months there, that can kind of help you as you read the Book of Mormon. Well, I just would like to say it's been a great privilege and opportunity for me to be here with you. The other ones, you have copies of the other part of that, and you can look at these topics. And if you want to go to that www.drlen.com, you can pick up some of the statistics. Now, my wife tells me that she gave those, has that done and sent them off yesterday, so they may not be on the website until sometime later this week. But thank you all very much.